is it's your boy Get, and this is the Good Morning Drive, where I talk about various gaming topics, sports, and gaming news, and some social news here and there. As I wish you guys a good morning, and I'm gonna try to get this real quick. We're gonna get this good morning out, and we got some things to talk about. We gotta talk about this maximum football outrage or fake outrage, as I think it kind of is. And yeah, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna really talk about it. So yeah, good morning to everyone out there. If you missed my good morning, maybe I'll say another good morning in the middle of all this. And if we could get some people chatting up a storm, maybe I'll get it. But yeah, so good morning to everyone out there. It is a brisky New Jersey cold good morning. It is 48 degrees out here right now. It's going to warm up to maybe 60 something. I don't know. But, it's that normal close to November, October, wintry fall weather. It's not even that cold. I remember when I was a kid, it was colder than this in October. I remember it used to snow on my birthday. My birthday is in October 4th, actually. So, yeah. It's that type of morning. It's a little cool out, but it's nice and sunny, as you could tell. And we out here, and I'm taking my ass to work. I'm actually a little early than I normally am going to work. So, it's all good. So, I'm just wishing y'all a good morning. And I hope you guys stay blessed. I hope you guys have a great Friday. I've been slacking with my content, but it looks like the game has been missing me. So I need to come back with it. And there's a lot of interesting topics to talk about. Maximum football is upon us. We've been getting more and more information, and we're going to talk about that information in a bit. But first, we talk about that. My Knicks, we playing tonight. We play the Indiana Pacers. And honestly, I don't expect my team to come up with a victory. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to take a little bit of time for the Knicks to really start gelling. You got Bridges, who's changing up his three-point shot, and it ain't working. And I think maybe and hopefully he gave up on that. If you're a real Knicks fan, you already know. Brunson got off to a little bit of a slow start. Everybody got off to a little bit of a slow start versus the Boston Celtics, because the Celtics, they look strong. Oh my God, they look strong. Jason Tatum looked like he is in Super Saiyan instinct form. So dude look like he's ready to go. Looks like he's going to be the maybe top 5 or top 3 player this year. So he looks really good. And yeah, so hey, once you get in here, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe if it's the first time. And show a little respect for that, for the little bit of grind that I've been doing. You know what I mean? Hit that like button, please. I really appreciate it. It definitely helps the algorithm with my YouTube content. And I'm thinking I need to get back into making content. I've been working a whole lot because, like I said, I had some car issues and I had to pay for all that. So, I'm down a little bit. So I got to build that back up. So, now you boy do it. But yeah, so good morning. On the field, good morning to you, sir. And Russian agent. Don't you got an election to help Trump with? Nah, that's crazy. I never believed in any of that crap, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, so my Knicks play tonight, and we'll see if we pull it off, but I doubt it. But, we'll see what happens. What else? That was a brutal call. Oh, my God. It was a brutal no call last night with the Rams versus Vikings game on Prime. Oh my God, I should have recorded. See, I'm so down on my content right now. I should have made a highlight video about it and spoke about it, but that was a tough no call. That was that was a blatant I'm not going to call face mask, and they can't review it. Like, come on, they got so many rules that they got to change. Oh my God. The NFL, that's why a lot of people think the NFL and sometimes the NBA is rigged, because not only you got betting commercials within the games, during the games. And I'm sorry, from what I know, when it comes to news outlets, normally the people that are putting a lot of money into the commercials are the ones that are going to tell, hey, news outlet, whatever you are, this is what you're going to say about said subject that we are connected to. So I ain't gonna name no names, but I'm just saying stuff like that happen. So, but yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone out there. Please hit that like, I really appreciate it. And but yeah, so terrible no call. It just looked real bad. You could tell that he got face masked. You don't have to even see it because his head got totally turned all the way around and dragged down on his upper body. So you could just guess that it was a face mask, and you could be wrong about it. Well, at least you had the excuse. Well, his head turned around, so obviously I think it was a face mask. But anyway, let me stop talking about that. Let me talk about this Maximum Football outrage right now. And please hit that like. Good morning to everyone out there. I hope you are all doing well in your day. It's Friday, my day, right before the weekend, and we all gonna party on the weekend. I want all y'all, if y'all of age, to have a drink on me, and enjoy your weekend. If you don't drink, smoke. If you don't smoke, eat a good meal. If you don't eat a good meal, you're dead. But yeah, so I want y'all to have a good one, all right? But anyway, so on to this Maximum Football stuff. All right, so a lot of people are confused or were confused or upset or whatever the case is with Maximum Football because they kept on saying the game was free to play. And the thing with that is they released information out there that, yes, the game is free to play, but there is going to be some type of monetization and tiering system with it. We all free-to-play games have a have monetization to it. Every single one. So why, when a comes out, there would be any kind of confusion or there would be any kind of outrage or whatever with that type of model? Every free-to-play game is some kind of monetization to it. You could pick it up, you could play it, you can even customize, right? You can even customize and make your teams. You can go through a season, and you could play multiplayer for free. A brand new football game that no one has ever played before, right? A full game of, right? We've played it. Other people have played it during Game Fest and the early access betas that we were testing out that I can't really speak on. But yeah, we were all playing it. We all had our experiences. But the mass majority of people have not. They have not played it, right? So, and it's a new game coming into the simulation football genre, right? And the budget, the graphics, the game, there's no other indie developed game that's going to be on this level. It's just not. With all that being said, I would think people would be happy no matter how Maximum Football is released monetarily wise, especially if you could basically play a demo of the game. That's basically what it is. It's a demo of Maximum Football. And if you like it, go ahead. You can spend a little bit of money and you could enjoy the franchise mode, the dynasty modes, and more cosmetics and all this other stuff, right? You could enjoy all these things. But of course, we have the trolls out there, and I say trolls very openly, that yeah, no, they blindsided us, yada yada. That's complete false. That's not true at all. I personally interviewed Micah Brown. I always forget his He's the game director at Maximum Football. He's on just about every media pertaining to the official Maximum Football YouTube and social media, these videos they make, the promotions. He's basically the face of all of that. Now they do have Maximum Luca, right? Which he's the social media guy, and obviously much respect to him. But Micah, I interviewed him personally, one-on-one. I got a video on my YouTube channel. The third or real question, the first real question was monetization, right? He explained it, and what he said is actually what has happened. He first mentioned the cosmetics and the things that easily monetize, right? We want to monetize the game. We don't want to ruin the gameplay with pay-to-win schemes. People should be super happy about that. What's up with that? I don't know. And towards the end of answering that question, he said, and we also have a one-time payment of, and maybe that changed. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But a one-time payment to play franchise mode and dynasty mode. What's the confusion? What's the outrage? He said it in my interview. That interview almost got 3,000 views, right? Maybe, just maybe, Maximum Football is just so popular that it's well beyond the popularity that so many people thought. Because if I almost have 3,000 views on my interview, and that's like the beginning of, and I did it very intelligently and smartly and professionally, every question I had a chapter for. So if I'm segmenting it and it's in the beginning, almost 3,000 people, you would think that a good chunk of those people that are complaining in our Discord and wherever else, they would have known about the tiered system or how they're going to monetize the game. So I honestly don't understand how people are very confused or even upset about it. How are you upset about it? It's a free-to-play simulation football game. And if you're really into simulation football games, you already know how everybody feels about Madden. College football, the scam that EA pulled with college football 25, right? I mean, there are some people out here that are lost in the sauce, and they swear up and down college football 25 and Madden is completely different products when they are literally the same feather on the same wing of a bird. They are so similar that it's ridiculous. It's honestly a tuning thing. They tuned down the defense, tuned up the offense for college football, made it slightly faster. That's it. Madden, everything is on an even playing field, basically, right? And has been the same forever. The core gameplay of Madden and college football 25 is the same old EA formula of simulation football. It's the same type of player movement, the same type of core gameplay, how the computer reacts to human users. It's the same. It's not light, day and night, white and black. It's the same, so I don't know. And not only that, how are we so upset that Maximum Football has a paid tiered system, just like a lot of free-to-play games, when it's a simulation football game? The simulation football genre, or the community, or the demographic is so small when it comes to just normal games, right? I'm saying normal games as in your Dead Souls, your Call of Duties, your those type of games, right? Those type of communities. It's so small. It's such a niche crowd. How are we surprised, and how is it this much outrage when College Football 25 sold so well for $70, right? $70 for a College Football 25 plus. Then there's been so many people who went out there like lemmings and bought College Football 25 and Madden at the same time. At the same time. And we are upset that this free-to-play game, we're upset that this free-to-play game might actually have some monetization in it. Y'all, what are we doing? What are we doing? Are we serious? Are we real? Are we not bots? Are we not paid EA damage control artists, or whoever you want to call them, paid EA detractors? Are we that in the Maximum Football Discord? Or are we really just truly confused? I was confused last night because I came to that realization that it was some kind of uproar on the pay system. I'm thinking that my memory is not serving me correct, even though I know I don't have that great of a memory. And I'm thinking that, hey, maybe something did change. But nah, I checked my own interview with Micah. I checked my own interview right there in that first segment of monetization. I titled it. It's chaptered in that video. And I'm like, okay, maybe he didn't fully explain what was going to happen. And he actually did. He started off a little slow because he's talking about cosmetics. He's talking about these little things here and there. And then he ended it. Oh, yes, we do have a one-time buy-in for franchise and dynasty mode. He said it out of his own mouth. 3,000 views on almost 3,000 views on that interview. How is it some kind of, I don't get it. And that's why I think it's EA paid detractors to rile people up, just like these guys were saying, just like, oh my God, all these guys were saying the window is closed after college football comes out. If Maximum Football is released after college football and Madden, right? Or Madden, the window is closed for a free-to-play game. The window is closed. You might as well forget it. It's going to be dead. It's going to be this, going to be that. When both those games came out, people still talking about Maximum Football. When both those games came out, people are so upset and complaining that this pay model is not what they expected. This is a surprise. I'm sorry, if the game is dead, it'll be no big talk. It'd have been no uproar. It'd have been no controversy. It would have been nobody talking about anything if this game was dead. Just like that. It's the same thing. You know, they tried to do the same thing with Backbreaker, right? And they failed with Backbreaker compared to what people actually thought. They had enough money. They sold enough copies to make another Backbreaker game. It's just that Natural Motion chose not to. Why? I don't know. That nobody knows. Same thing with All Pro Football 2K8. Believe it or not, they made enough money to make another game, right? But the narrative, the popular narrative was it didn't sell well. It sold terribly. Well, back then, you know, you sell 300,000 copies or 100 or 200,000 copies of a game. Back then when All Pro Football 2K came out, yeah, you made enough money to make a sequel. So they made enough money for that, you know? But the narrative was, oh, it was not popular. We didn't support it, and it didn't sell enough. No, they didn't want to. 2K didn't want to make another game for several reasons, but the main one was because it was not a licensed football game, and they didn't want to upset the NFL. Simple as that, right? Because they want to get back in bed with the NFL, which they are in bed with the NFL, and we'll see what happens. We're still waiting on information on that. And whenever a developing studio is real quiet about anything, that means they're working. Look, Nintendo is crazy quiet right now. Why? Because they're working on all these games. Nintendo's always quiet to begin with, but they're working on all these games, and they're working on their new successor to the Switch, right? So yeah. 2K is real quiet and totally totally silent about their NFL licensing and what they're going to do with it. Yeah, because they're working on a game. What kind of game that is, we don't know yet. But we know something is coming. So again, I don't understand with this. And you know what? I talked about my own interview. But what about other interviews? It was Micah was going around to a lot of social media outlets and channels and doing interviews. My channel wasn't the only one to interview. And I know they asked the same questions. He did several interviews. He did a lot of interviews. And I know for a fact that he mentioned monetization in not just my interview. So, oh yeah, not only that, let me circle back on this topic of college football 25. We're so mad about a free-to-play game, but college football 25 is the best-selling football game ever. $70 or $140 or $130, whatever you paid for it. We're upset that college football. We're upset at Maximum Football for being a free-to-play game with a money-tiered system. And college football, best-selling football game of all time. It beat Madden. Are we for real? We ain't for real. We ain't serious. I don't believe none of that. Gamers, come on now. EA, try harder than that. Stop it with all that. But anyway, that's all I had to say. The information was out there, and if you was misinformed, I gotta say that was on us as gamers, But the positive in that, we all know now. We all know Maximum Football is still gaining traction. It's still a popular game. People are still talking about it, and it's still coming. Right? So that's all I gotta say. It's your boy Get It, and this is the morning drive. Good morning to all y'all and all y'all haters and all my supporters. Good morning to everyone out there. Hope everybody have a good morning. We out of here. Peace.